Hello YouTubers, welcome again to another episode of New Parents in Training. I hope you like my video on how to make lavender oatmeal soap. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make vanilla latte coffee soap, and it smells so good, but they're not edible. And these are great gifts for those who are coffee lovers, and it does require some coffee grounds. So I hope you can use some used coffee grounds to make this fabulous soap. So before I go on with this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. See you in a little bit. So let's start off with the ingredients. I have here 2 pounds of shea butter soap base, and you can get any type of soap base of your choice. So there could be goat milk soap base or oat milk soap base, and all these soap base can be easily found at craft stores such as Michael's or Hobby Lobby or online. We'll use ground coffee. This is about 2 tablespoons of all ground coffee. As you can see, it's very well dried up. This is my extra used ground coffee that I usually discard after making coffee, and so I will be using for this soap. As you can see, it's pretty quite wet, and you don't want to use wet coffee because you don't want to add extra moisture to the soap. Ground coffee that is wet can also increase the risk of mold. In order to make it dry, you could either place them into a pan and then bake it for about 15 minutes, about 375 degrees, or you could just put them under the sun and just air dry it. This is about 1 teaspoon of freshly ground coffee. And the reason why I add the freshly ground coffee is because I want to give it some coloring to the coffee. We're going to be using about 1 cup of old-fashioned rolled oats, and what I use this is to make the skin to retain more moisture. You might want to finally ground it through a food processor or through like a magic bullet. So I'm going to be using a magic bullet to finally ground it into something like this. We'll add on 2 teaspoons of organic sweet almond oil. I like the almond oil because it gives a more luxurious soap. And then about close to 1 teaspoon of the vanilla fragrance, and I have fragrance from Art Minds, and these are the fragrances that are specifically made for soaps. I have here tools that helps to make the soap making process easier. I have silicone molds here, and each of the molds holds about 4 ounces. I have alcohol here and put into a spray forms to spray on the molds before the melted soap to prevent bubbles. I have a glass container. This will help to melt the soap. I have here a cutting tool for the soap, and you can also use a butcher knife. I have here parchment paper, and this is just to put over the counter so it will be easier to clean up afterwards, so there's not a lot of soap residue over the counter. You can also use glossy paper coming from magazines, and I have here tape to set the paper or put the paper together. You can also use other types of molds. So I have here bar mold or using the cupcake molds. Okay, let's get started. So I'm placing parchment paper here to protect my counter and contain the mess, and I'm gonna add some tape to secure it. Next, I'm gonna cut the soap into smaller pieces. As you can see, I have cut out the soaps into smaller pieces, about 1 inch on each side. This will make it easier to melt either through the microwave or through a double boiler. So there's a choice to do it through the microwave, to microwave for 30 seconds and then mix, and then microwave it 30 seconds again in the mix. So every 30 seconds you mix it until they're fully melted. But I'm gonna do a double boiler because it gives me a little more control and it's a little bit easier for me to do, especially with such a large batch. This is my double boiler method, and basically I'm boiling the water and then I could turn into medium heat, let the soap melt slowly, and I could mix it with a silicone spatula as time goes by. So it takes a little bit longer than the microwave, but it does give me a better control. The microwave, I have to do it every 30 seconds. I have to mix and put it back and mix and put it back. But this one, I could just do it slowly. Okay, so the soap is slowly melting. Depending on the batch, because I have 2 pounds of soap here, is taking about 20 minutes or so. And I'm just like slowly stirring it. It might take about 20 to 30 minutes to liquefy the soap. Okay, so it has finally liquefied. So it's now ready to transfer to the kitchen counter to start adding all the ingredients. Okay, so it's finally melted. I'm gonna add now the ingredients quickly before the soap solidifies. So I'll put 2 teaspoons of the organic sweet almond oil. I'm gonna add on about close to 1 teaspoon of the vanilla fragrance. I'm gonna give it a quick stir. Then I'm gonna add the oats and then try to mix as much as possible, taking out the crumbs, but if there's a little bit behind, that's okay. I forgot to add paper, and if I had added the paper, I would have avoided this mess. And now I guess towards the end, I'll just have to peel off the solidified soap from the counter. I'm gonna add the 1 teaspoon of fresh ground coffee. This will give you a very nice light coffee color to the soap. So as the soap gets a little bit thicker, I'm gonna add on the used coffee grounds. The reason why I use it towards the end is because the coffee grounds, if the soap is too liquidy, it would just float. But as the soap solidifies, it could suspend within the soap. So the coffee grounds would actually give a really nice exfoliating scrub as well. Okay, so I'm gonna use this scoop to scoop it in, so it'll be easier for me to pour. And I'm gonna spray a little bit of alcohol to take off the bubbles. The extra leftover that I have on these cupcake holders. As you can see, solidifying really fast, so I gotta do it quick. Spray some alcohol, and I'm gonna put this back into the microwave because it's already really hardened. To liquefy a little bit and then finish with 2 more molds. And I probably have a little bit extra, so I'm gonna use it for other cupcake holders, whatever I find in the kitchen. All right, so I remelted again through the microwave for 30 seconds. Stir in another 30 seconds. Now it is liquefied, so I could resume with the rest of the molds. alcohol. I couldn't find more cupcake molds, so I'm gonna use these molds. I'll probably keep the little one for myself. I'm not gonna give it to anybody. So now I'm gonna let all the molds to sit overnight. Tomorrow I'm just gonna take them out and then start wrapping. So I'm gonna take out the soap from the mold. Now that I took out the walls of the mold, now I could use this knife cutter that has these ridges. So I'm gonna cut it for about an inch in between. Okay, so I'm gonna take out the soap from the cupcake holder molds. So as you can see now, I have these soaps that are molded very beautifully, and so now I'm gonna pack them with the rest of the soaps. Okay, so it's finally wrapped up into this nice gift bag. I actually wrapped each of the soap individually in parchment paper. Then I stuffed them inside this bag. So this bag is a coffee bag that came in the store holding the coffee beans. So instead of throwing them away, I used it to make it into a gift bag. And so I made little holes around the gift bag, and then I thread with a nice ribbon to it. I added some flowers, and you could put real flowers or plastic flowers. I got these from leftover decorations I had before, and a nice little tag for the recipient. And so there it is. So this is really nice gift to give to family members, co-workers, friends. And I hope you liked the video, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Until then, happy soap making.